Hello, good day. Our topic is about illustrating simple and compound interest. But before anything else, I'm going to show you some of the definition of terms which are very useful in illustrating simple and compound interest. I will be presenting to you the words which are in scrambled form, in which you are going to arrange that after reading or seeing the definition of terms which I will be presenting to you later on. Then I'm going to give you 5 seconds to answer it. Then I'm going to reveal the correct answer. Okay, let's start with the first scramble words. TEMIROTEMR. It is an amount of time in years the money is borrowed or invested, or it is the length of time between the origin and maturity dates. What do you think that be? The answer is time or term. Another scramble word, PPINCIREL. It is an amount of money borrowed or invested on the origin date. What do you think that be? The answer is principal. Another one, ARTE. It is usually in percent charged by lender or rate of increase of the investment. What do you think that be? The answer is rate. Another definition or scramble word, INTEERST. It is an amount paid or earned for the use of money. What do you think that be? The answer is interest. Another one, SIMLEPNTSTEIRE. It is an interest that is computed on the principal and then added to it. What do you think that be? The answer is simple interest. Another scramble words, COMPNOUDITETNESR. It is an interest that is computed on the principal and also on the accumulated past interest. What do you think that be? The answer is compound interest. And the last scramble words, MATRIUTYVALEURFUTUERVEALU. It is an amount after T years that the lender receives from the borrower on the maturity date. What do you think that be? The answer is maturity value or future value. So those are the terms that we are going to use later on in illustrating simple and compound interest. Now, I'm going to present to you again the definition of simple interest, which state that it is an interest that is computed on the principal and then added to it. I'm also going to present to you the compound interest, which is an interest that is computed on the principal and also on the accumulated past interest. So to fully understand between these two interests, I'm going to give you an example. Suppose you won 10,000 pesos and you plan to invest it for 3 years. A cooperative group offers 2% simple interest rate per year. A bank offers 2% compounded annually. Which will you choose and why? In solving this, we need to identify first what are the given. So the given are the 10,000 pesos, which is our principal value. We have also 3 years, which is our time or term. We have also 2%, which is represented with the rate. And if we're going to convert that in decimal form, that is equivalent to 0.02. So now, we are now going to illustrate simple interest. We need to have a table so that we can organize our answer. So for the first column, we are going to have there the time. We all know that based on the given of our problem, our time or term is 3 years. So we have 1, 2, and 3. For the second column, we're going to have the principal. And we all know that our principal is 10,000 pesos. For the third column, we're going to write the simple interest. And in simple interest, we're going to divide it into two columns. The first column will be the solution and the other one will be the answer. To solve for the simple interest, we are just going to copy the principal, which is in 10,000 pesos, multiplied by the rate, which is 0.02, and multiplied it by that corresponding year, which is equals to 1. So multiplying all these three values, we get an answer which is equals to 200 pesos. For the fourth column, we're going to have the amount after 30 years, or what we call maturity value. In solving for maturity value, we're just going to add the principal plus the interest. So we have 10,000 pesos plus the interest, which is 200. The answer is equals to 10,200 pesos. So that is the maturity value after a year. So for the second year, since based on our definition that simple interest, we're just going to compute on the principal and then we're going to add it. So as a result, we have 10,000 pesos as our principal. Solving for the interest, we have 10,000 pesos times 0.02 times 2, since it is in the already in the second year. So multiplying all these numbers, we have 400 pesos. Solving for the maturity value, we have 10,000 pesos plus the interest, which is 400. The answer is equals to 10,400 pesos. For the third year, we're still going to use the principal, which is 10,000 pesos. Solving for the interest, we have 10,000 pesos times the rate, which is 0.02 times 3 for the 3 years. Solving these numbers, we got 600 pesos. Solving for the maturity value, we have 10,000 pesos plus the interest, which is 600 pesos. The answer is equals to 10,600 pesos. And that is how we are going to evaluate the simple interest. Now let's proceed with the compound interest. So same given we are going to use, and we're also going to use the same table, but there are some differences with the terms that we are going to put there. So for the first column, same, we are going to have our time, which is in 3 years. In the second column will be the amount at the start of year T. So we all know that the amount at the start of year T is 10,000 pesos. For the third column, we're going to have the compound interest, and we're going to have another column for the solution and for its answer. So to solve for the compound interest, it is just the same process with the simple interest, in which we are going to use the amount at the start of the year, which is 10,000 pesos, multiplied by the rate, which is 0.02, and multiplied by 1 for that corresponding year. So the result will be 200 pesos. So for the amount at the end of the year, or what we call maturity value, the answer will be 10,000 pesos plus the interest, which is 200. The answer is equals to 10,200. So we are going to know that in compound interest, we are going to solve for the interest that is computed on the principal and also on the accumulated past interest. So the accumulated past interest in this problem is our maturity value. So we're going to use that maturity value as our amount at the start of a year. So for the second year, we are now using 10,200. Then solving for the compound interest, the amounts at the start of the year, which is 10,200, multiplied by the rate, which is 0.02, then multiplied by 1 for that specific year. So the result is equals to 204 pesos. Solving for the maturity value, we have 10,200 plus the interest, which is 204 pesos. So the result is equals to 10,404 pesos. For the third year, we are going to use that 10,404 pesos as the amount at the start of the year. Then solving for the interest, we have 10,404 multiplied by the rate, which is 0.02, multiplied by 1 on that specific year. The result is equals to 208.08. So for the maturity value, the amount at the start of the year, which is 10,404, plus its interest, which is 208.08, the answer is equals to 10,612.08. So those are the answers in solving for the compound interest. So now we are going to compare the interest gained between the two investments. So the formula that we are going to use, maturity value minus the principal. So I'm going to present to you again the table that we solved a while ago for the simple interest. We have that table. For the compound interest, we also have that table. So now, comparing the interest gain between the two investments, for the cooperative group, which using the simple interest, so we have 10,600, which is the maturity value, and we are going to subtract it with the principal, which is 10,000 pesos. So the result is equals to 600. for the bank, which uses the compound interest, so its future value is 10,612.08, and we're going to subtract it with the amount at the start of the year, or the principal, which is 10,000 pesos. The result is equals to 612.08 pesos. So as we can see, we know that bank offer is much better than the offer of the cooperative. So it means that if we are going to invest something, so we need to use the compound interest so that we can gain a lot of interest in it. But if we are going to do a loan, so much better to use the simple interest. Okay, so that's the end of our lesson, and thank you for listening.